Oh, I got to get him up here. You coming on, Kurt? There we go.
Let's get it going. Allison just needs to put her camera on. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to Manufacturing E-Commerce Success. Let's get it going.
Got a little music going here, Kurt. So let's kick her off, man. We're live on LinkedIn and the other places that we got going on. So let's talk about the Manufacturing E-Commerce Success Series and Allison DeFord with us here today. Take it away, Kurt.
Let's rock and roll. So everybody, welcome. My name's Kurt Anderson. Huge shout out. Thank you to our host with the most, Damon Pistolka, his team at Exit Your Way. Super grateful for him hosting us every week. We are live on LinkedIn. We're live on Twitter, and we are live on Facebook. Is that correct, Damon?
Yes.
Okay. And so, folks, I have to give you, there's a couple of warnings with this session that we're going to do today. First, I'm going to ask when our guest is speaking, don't have any liquids or fluids in your mouth because they will be spit out on your keyboard, because Allison DeFord is one of the funniest human beings I've ever met. She's brilliant. She's funny. But I'm just, for a shameless plug, I'm going to give a little quote to you guys just to give you an idea of what you're contending with this morning, not to interfere with your program here, Allison. But here's a quote I want to share with you guys. Staying relevant and profitable today requires three things: continuous self-disruption, reorganization, and strategic communications. Continuously innovating and keeping pace with how customers search, purchase, and share to avoid falling into the abyss of mediocrity or, God forbid, extinction. Manufacturers must do something they've always resisted in the past. That's our dear friend, our guest, Allison DeFord. So Allison, she's the owner of Felt Marketing. Welcome to our program today. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys so much. And I'm excited. There's a lot to share. And we have a superhero joining us.
We've got Wonder Woman. Is that Mini-Me? Is that your version of Mini-Me there?
She goes with me everywhere.
Awesome. So today you've been in manufacturing marketing for what, 1 or 2 years?
1 or 6 months, yeah.
Yeah, or maybe a couple of decades or so. So Allison's been rocking it with manufacturers for many, many years and just expertise. And Allison, why don't you tell us a little bit about your Felt Marketing, how you've got into this, and we'll jump right into the program.
Good enough. I started in 94, and the company has evolved over, I'd say, about every 10 years to where we are today. And we rebranded about 10 years ago when we discovered that we wanted to lead by example and became our own guinea pigs. And so we realized that, the most beloved and successful brands aren't just seen and heard, they're felt. There's an emotional connection. And we literally were standing in the backyard behind our office that day. And my creative partner of 20 years at that time, we just looked at each other like brick to the head, felt. So we evolved into Felt Marketing. And our specialty is working with manufacturers. They are the hero of our story. And, most of them waste money on marketing that doesn't grow sales. And I'm tired of hearing stories all these years of people getting taken advantage of by marketers, by agencies, by, and there are a lot of good ones out there. I'm not putting them down, but I thought, this is, money's too precious and time is too precious to waste. And so that's what gets me up every morning. I would do it for free if I could, or if I was able, because I love it so much. So I just want to help people make sales easier, more profitable, and connect to the heart of your ideal customer and have fun doing it.
So let's dig into a couple. So you have let's just jump right into the couple of the catchphrases that you have that we wanted to talk about today. So and what's funny is I do a lot of presentations. I've actually taken Allison's little catchphrases and now I incorporate them. And can you share with us a couple of the catchphrases that you'd like to talk about with manufacturers and their marketing strategy?
Well, gosh, you put me on the spot. There are a couple. We like to steer people away from, wipe off the wee. Again, I don't believe I'm the person that made this up, but it's so true. If your site is covered in wee, man, you need to wipe that off, because that's not helping your customers trust you.
And what is the wee syndrome? So if you suffer from, if folks, if you're out there and we've all done it, we suffer from the wee syndrome. It's all about me or we. Can you enlighten us a little bit on that?
Well, if you peruse LinkedIn, where I spend a lot of time, and you just peruse posts, companies are really good, and I've done it too. So I'm not, this is not a judgment, but this is still happening and it needs to stop. Is people are, look at the award we won. Stop by our trade show booth and come see us. Come see how great we are. I have a slide that I'm going to share in a little bit, and it's a lot like looking at your own navel. It's really exciting to you, but no one else gives a shit. Like, they care about them. So stop talking about yourself and invite your customer into the story.
Yeah.
So and what's so common is, and what's the other one that you guys shared? Featured bingo.
Features and benefits bingo.
Yeah, and can you share a little bit about that on a common manufacturer website?
Yes. Well, most companies are still trying to market and communicate rationally, right? So features and benefits. Look how great our product is. Look at our stacks of lumber, and it's not motivating. And the thing is, they just don't know that people communicate, with their heart. And it's factual that they make decisions about 90% of the time based on emotion. Mm-hmm. And so features and benefits are not engaging your emotion. So why continue tapping into only 10% of the decision-making brain when you could tap into 90%? And start talking about something what's in it for the customer, because that's what they care about.
Right. And I want to give a shout out that everybody's joined us here on Remo. Again, we're on multiple platforms live, but I see I didn't mention Allison has this incredible, wonderful weekly podcast. Beg you, invite you, challenge you, encourage you, join her every week. And her partner in crime, Ray Zagato, looks like he's with us today. And Ray enlightened me on another term that you guys have called commission breath. Can you share with us what commission breath is and how you can prevent even that commission breath can potentially come through on your website? Tell us a little bit about that commission breath.
To us, it's a lot like, you're always showing up and throwing up, which Kevin Murphy, I give you the TM on that, buddy. You're always seeking the sale, and it's, as a mentor of mine always said, needy is creepy. So stop it. Mm-hmm. And instead of showing up to try to get the sale, show up and serve your face off, and the sale will happen more naturally.
Show up and serve your face off. I like that. I like that.
Allison, do you want, if you want to go ahead and share your screen, if you want to, do you want to jump in?
That'd be great. While we're getting ready, Ryan Moses asked a good question on LinkedIn. He said, how do you get manufacturers to realize they need to market themselves to begin with? That's a good question.
That's a great question.
Well, think about this. Marketing exists to support sales. Marketing, I think marketing gets a bad rap. And because I think Damon said this once, when I think about marketing, it makes me want to throw up in my shoes. And I've honestly felt that way in the past. But if you stop thinking of marketing as this schmarmy tactic and think of it instead as how you communicate with people, that's it. It's how you communicate at every touch point.
Yeah.
And it's challenging for, all of us, human nature. It's all about us instead of making it, the other direction. We're going to get into that. And that website, and we talk about like LinkedIn profiles where, look at me, all about me, or, so back to the feature bingo with the manufacturer, we have high quality. We have this capability. We deliver on time. Well, that's not a competitive separation, because if you didn't do those things, you probably wouldn't be in business. So Exactly. It's like,
Right.
We've got a lot of great marketers in our group, like Steve Melito, Jeff Long, Greg. Welcome, you guys. Thanks for stopping by. Dave from Buffalo. So, so let's jump right into that emotional marketing that you want to talk about. Let's dig right into that program here.
Yes, I'd love to. Well, as everybody knows, and I know anybody that works with manufacturers, like the person that asked that question, how do you convince them of the value? And traditionally, head and heart have not connected in manufacturing. It's somewhat traditional and about 10 years behind in terms of the way that they communicate and market. That said, it's a huge opportunity, right, for them to retrofit what they're doing, right? So take that great foundation you have. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, but if you take a minute to step back and understand who you're doing this for, that will change everything. And it will become clear the value that marketing brings to your business. So again, the ideal brand, the most successful brand, the most beloved brands across B2C and B2B are not just seen and heard, right? They're felt. There's emotional connection with them. They make you feel something. So, everybody's on a continuous mission. And I'm going to fly through these slides because I'm going to share this PDF with people afterwards. So I don't want to bore you with too much information, but everybody's on the same mission. We're trying to keep our brand relevant and profitable in changing at the speed of COVID kind of world, right? And we're not just competing like this anymore. We're competing on a global scale. So it's a new system, and it needs to be more automatic than manual. So that's what we're going to talk about today: is how you develop this scalable, connected system that's felt by your ideal customer. So it's got to keep you competitive, and it's got to make sales easier. Now, the one thing that we decided to lead with on our website was more of what the customer wants, right? Customers don't want more marketing. Let's be honest. No one said, God, I want more marketing. I'm going to spend some time thinking about that and how much money I'd like to spend on it. They don't. What they want is more sales. So our job is to make sales easier with less marketing that doesn't work and the right marketing mix that does. So we always ask clients, what state are you in? And they look at you like, well, what do you mean? Well, you're either in a state of acquisition, of modernization, or transition. And I won't go into all the minutia of what each of those things are. I think it's pretty obvious. So no matter which state you're in, I'm going to spend some time thinking about that.
Sorry. That's me.
Okay.
Trying to do something in the background, screwing things up.
We're taking a commercial break, so
yeah.
Hey, while you're doing that, let's give a shout out to we have our New York tribe here. Bonnie's here. We have Althea. We have Wayne here. So welcome to our New York tribe. So thank you for everybody showing up. So, all right, let's jump right back in.
All right.
Okay. So I found this image about 15 years ago, and it made me laugh out loud. It still does. I had a lot of boy cousins growing up. And of course, growing up in Indiana, you're running around with no shirt on. It's hot and humid. And I was always envious of them, to be able to do that. And they would, they were like, hey, look at my navel, and they're like making it, smile and talk and make faces. And I thought, oh my God, that is what most companies do with their marketing. Is like, look at my navel. Look how great I am. See me? Do you want to talk about how great I am and why you think I'm so great? And I realized a long time ago that we at Felt were doing the same thing. Wow. And we needed to stop it because that's not motivating to anybody. So what you have to do is stop thinking about what's in it for me, the brand, and think about what's in it for them. Because they don't care about you. They care about themselves. So this is the secret sauce of creating a connected system, marketing system that is felt, right? You've got to make your customer the hero of your story. And when you do that, everything gets so much easier. right? How to listen to them, how to talk to them, where to talk to them. And so for us, we realized about 6 to 10 years ago, I can't remember how long now, that manufacturers were the hero of our story, and that saw us creating.
Mine's doing it again. Sorry.
That's okay.
Jeez, man. I think I've never done this before.
We're rookies.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
That's okay. But no, you realize that you are not like I'll tell you a quick story, and I'm going to be really vulnerable here, and it's a little embarrassing, but yeah, we sat down a number of years ago, and we used to think at my company, the marketers, right, that we were better than our customers, that we were smarter than them because we knew about marketing and they didn't. And that was wrong. And I always say marketing is felt from the inside out. So I'm really positive that that vibe was coming through loud and clear. And it was not helping us be as successful as we could be or helping our customers. So we decided to put ourselves through our own process. We were the guinea pigs. And when we started working on the difference map, which I'll share with you in a couple slides, it was, well, what's your story? And so I started thinking about it. And I thought, well, gosh, I started out as a designer, a girl in her bedroom with an expensive computer and a dream. And the more I started talking about my story, I said, well, that sounds like most of our customers. You know, great granddad started the company 50 years ago with a dream and 2 nickels to rub together. And he built something from nothing because there was a need and he saw that he could fill it. And now, you know, how many generations later, the company has evolved. And they're really, I mean, I love manufacturing because I feel like it's the backbone of this country. And it just fills me with joy to support people that are making something from nothing. And so I had this aha moment and I said, holy shit, we are our customer. We are just like them. And from that moment forward, marketing became so much easier for us. And it also influenced our process and our philosophy of how we help people go to market. Because when your customer's the hero and you're speaking their language, marketing becomes so fun and easy, and it just makes sense. And the first question that we always ask people is, how do you want them to feel? And they look at us like, are you high? We don't even understand. What do you mean? So we say, okay, we created this buyer's journey. You can see this guy, and he represents, right, each stage of awareness. Then you're evaluating, then you make the purchase, then you're using it, then you hopefully repurchase, and then you're going to tell somebody about it. That's that advocacy part. So what we figured out is most manufacturers, how you speak to people at these different stages of the buying cycle needs to be different. Needs to, you know, you don't ask somebody to sleep with you on the first date. Well, you might, but normally you're going to buy somebody a drink first. You're going to have a conversation. You're going to get to know them. Go out on multiple dates. So you want to do the same thing with your marketing, you know? And it's, again, you don't want to show somebody your navel on the first date because I don't think you're going to get a second date. So, and most manufacturers stop in the middle, right? They stop at usage where the person purchased it actually, and then they stop. Well, if, you know, a really smart manufacturer who's in tune with your customers is going to stay with them through the journey. They're the hero of the story. So what you want to offer them, like Don Miller talks about this in his book, Story Brand, which is phenomenal if you haven't read it, about offering, you know, you got to close the loop. So what happens at the end of every great story? The hero has a transformation or an evolution or some kind of change. And so you want to be with your customer on that journey from beginning to end, and then it starts over again. Like I call it the buyer's circle instead of the funnel. So it's this continuous circle. So you got to figure out how you want them to feel at every step of the way, and how you do that. And I'm sharing this PDF with you guys. These are tools that we've created here at Felt to help clients understand their customers. And the way that you do that is with empathy. And I think in the past, that's felt like this really soft skill, fluffy, but it's really not. It's walking a mile in their shoes. And so when you take the time to figure out, well, what are they hearing about us? What do they see from us? What are customers saying and doing? How is this a gain or a positive for them? How do they think and feel? When you really figure that out, that then influences how to create your difference, right? What is your unfair advantage? The thing that you bring to the table that nobody else can bring. And we've had clients say, well, we're just a commodity. And I say, whoa, hold the phone. If you're just a commodity, Starbucks coffee used to be a commodity. Water used to be a commodity until it wasn't. So by figuring out your unfair advantage, you invite people into the story and you're going to help them be the hero. And we use things like this difference map to really make it succinct. So if you look at the bottom, you've got purpose. Why do we exist? If you need to say that in a sentence, right? It's not some long, drawn out mission statement that doesn't mean anything to anybody, but the people that created it behind, in a boardroom one day. It's got to be something that every employee can say, this is why we exist. This is who we do this for. And so anyway, quick example, we have a client that is a major drywall manufacturer, and we took them through this process. We did a breakthrough boot camp and uncovered all of these things. And they said, well, we don't know. We don't know what our unfair advantage is. And I said, well, I do. It's that you make one part of the construction process easy. And everybody just looked at me like, it can be that simple. And I said, yes, because nobody else is talking about that. So who doesn't want that? And the fact that at every step of the way, you make it easy. So if you become known for that, that's a reason to trust you. That's a reason that, they'll choose your product because you're with them every step of the way, from specifying this product to learning about it, being educated about it, installing it, seeing the finished product and constantly innovating for them on behalf of them. So it's very powerful. And the other thing that we kept running into for years with manufacturers was they're very left brain and linear thinkers. So we thought, okay, we're right brain for the most part. And how do we connect with them? How do we get them to trust this process? And so we thought, well, science, right? Factual things. People trust that. So we spent years developing this periodic table of customer touch points. So we divided it up into 8 categories and we laid out a brand and all the different ways that they can come into contact with their customers. And so we'll take your brand and we lay it over the periodic table. And it's very enlightening. It's rather than us pointing a finger and saying, you, this is what you're doing or not doing. It allows them to say, wow, we've got all these different touch points activated, but how many of those are optimized? How many of those are working really well? Not as many as we'd like. And then how many are dormant? How many we're not utilizing at all? And then the biggest problem that I see is that when someone doesn't have a connected system, it's all these random components, right? All these amplifiers that are working on their own, but they're not all connected and working together to say the same message. And you've got to be repetitive because consistency breeds familiarity, familiarity breeds trust, and trust is what it takes for someone to buy from you. So how are we on time? I don't want to be too wordy, and I can finish up whenever you need.
I think we're
okay.
let's keep going.
So just real quick, this is how I told people, before we got on this, how to do this. Well, this is how you do it. Start with that idea of less marketing, more sales, meaning give the customer what they want before, more importantly, than what you want. And you want to increase visibility and performance from a connected system that's built to last. And this is the beautiful thing. When you think of retrofitting a house or building a house, start with a strong foundation. Every brand I've ever worked with had a lot of great stuff to start with. They just needed to shore up their foundation. So real quick, we'll do the breakthrough boot camp with them, and we'll help them uncover their unfair advantage. What channels are you leaving untouched? How do you shorten the sales cycle? And then the second thing we do is we look at, are you a specialty or are you a commodity? And who do customers think you are? That's the most important thing. So you want to make it easier to know you. Who are these people and why should I care? And then the next thing you want to do is create that marketing strategy. And the whole idea is planned versus haphazard, right? Make it easier to find you. So it's how, where, and when you interact. Now, here's where a lot of people fall down. They want to go straight from the marketing strategy, straight up to the roof, shout it from the rooftops, and start creating amplifiers, right? We want a fantastic website, and we want to design, and we want to start doing social media. Okay, before you start shouting through these speakers, what is it that you're saying? And this is this substance part that I can't stress enough, that is missing from most people's marketing strategies. And this is what helps you be felt, is you've got to have a content strategy, right? Most people are reactive. You want to be proactive, and you want to plan this ahead of time.
Whoa, what just happened there? I'm sorry about that, but the event just stopped. Well, thanks everyone for attending on LinkedIn. We obviously have some technical details here, difficulties here we'll take care of, but I appreciate you joining in on the conversation, and we will share more with you again next week. Our remote platform has crashed. Thanks a lot.